Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and you are welcome to the Shabbat of this morning. The Parshas that we are going to discuss about this morning is Parshas Tetze, which means when you go out. You see, when you go out. When you go out to do what? When you go, as I explained, when you go out for battle. So mainly the Parashah of this morning is talking about the war. About war. Yes, about the guidance, the advice. You know, people call it laws. I say it is not about a law. It's about an advice. It's an advice that God is giving to us that we are human beings. We cannot behave like barbarians. That we have, even though we are going to war against our enemy, we still have to keep our humanity. That human character, we cannot be like a baboon. We cannot be like a chimpanzee. We are not an animal. That is what the Torah is saying. You still have to keep your humanity. You have to keep your head sane. You will not be insane. You have to be sane in your head. When you go to war, you have to go to war with a clear eyes. Because we can see what is happening in majority of war that we've been fighting in the so-called modern century. People don't want to go to war. They need to inject them with drugs. You see? People are injected with drugs for them to go to war to go and fight, so that they become insane. They are like animals. Because you can't do that. You don't do that. You go to war with the same mind. I know there is a horror of war. There's a lot of horror that people see at war that disturb them mentally. But that is how life is. That is life. You need to understand that. So war, so the pastor is talking about the guidance, the instruction on how to fight a battle. Although the parasha both begins and ends with the commandment arising in the war context, the overwhelming majority of the parasha detail commandments of morality between man and his fellow at home. Thus, the Torah teaches us that if a man is able to control his evil inclination in the time of war against his enemy, how much more so he will be able to control it at home with regard to his fellow. So what am I saying here now? I'm saying that God is giving us these instructions, this guidance, that if we, because the parasha also talks about relationship between man and man, his fellow, right? It's between you and your brothers. It's talk about moralities. Basically, the parasha only basically talks about morality, right? About the relationship between the father and the child, between a mama and the child, right? Between a family member that died and if let's say for example we have two brothers, a brother married and he died before having a child. The Torah said that woman cannot go and marry from outside. No, he can't. She can't. She has to marry the brother of the man that died in order to raise a son or a child in place of the man that died. That is the Torah law. Right? But if the man, the brother that said, no, I don't want to marry this woman, I don't want to raise a child for my brother that died, then the Torah said that man should be brought to the elders of the city. They will speak to him, they will discuss with him, and if he says, no, I don't want, then the woman will remove the shoe of the man and it will spit on the man. It's a shame. And that man's name is tarnished forever in the land. But you need to understand that is wickedness. That you don't want to raise son in the name of your brother. Total wickedness. So we need to understand with the context. But now it doesn't make sense now because in the modern world, the woman is free to do whatever she wants. No, it's freedom, right? That I would say, no, you cannot. I'm free. Like, I understand. Many people that are looking at you, I think this rabbi is of 10,000 years old. You know, his mind. I understand. I understand what is going on now, right? It's all about, they call it democracy, as I said. Okay, keep the democracy. Me, I keep my Torah. The law of the Torah is simple. It's not hard. You see, it is us that, as I keep on saying, we are the one that make it hard. So if we can do this, the Torah is saying that if we can do this, that if we go to war, then we are going to keep our same mind. We won't be like animal. So those are the instructions that the Torah is saying. So I subtitle it. The subtitle of this morning is to forget or not to forget. To forget or not to forget. Because why did I choose this subtitle? This subtitle because we can see in so many liberal synagogues, the conservative, the liberal synagogue, they are trying to tell us another point of view. I understand their point of view because they are trying to tell us we have to forget Amalek. So forget about Amalek. I understand their point, which I'm going to come back into, right? I understand where they're coming from, right? But the Torah gives us a very, very 100% instruction. Do not forget Amalek. Do not forget Amalek. In this Parsha is the last verses that we're going to see in this Parsha. Do not forget what Amalek did, for he does not fear God. And then his punishment came through when you can see that in the book of Kings. I mean, when the book of Kings, when Shaul became king. Shaul went to go and destroy. God said, I remember what Amalek did. It's your turn to go and avenge, right? Good. But we need to see here that God even said, I remember. But in some liberal circle, right, they are trying to tell us to forget. He said, forgive and forget. But we need to understand the difference between to forgive and forget. Because to forgive is good. God said, forgive. Because in the prayer, Yeshua said, forgive us our sins as we forgive those that sins against us. If you do not forgive, God will forgive you your own sin. That is it. It's simple. You forgive those that sins against you as God forgave you your own sin. But God didn't say, forget. No. God said, I am the God that remember that those, for people who do, let me paraphrase it. I am the Lord that remember that input, from third to fourth generation. I'm the Lord that remember the iniquity of those that does not serve me to the third to fourth generation. I'm going to remember it. I'm going to put it upon their sons or their children or their descendants who does not fear me, who does not follow the instruction of God. For if the son follow the instruction of God, God will not do that. But if the son, he say, I don't care, continue the footstep of their father, God will visit the iniquity of his father upon him. That is it. So, how come these people are telling us that we need to forget, forgive and forget? Remember that when you forget, history do repeat itself again. And that is the trick that the people that is the trick of the enemy, of the negative side. They want you to forget. So when you forget, you can repeat the same mistake again. So it will continue to enslave you. Forgive. To me, you have to forgive. But to forget, no, never forget. Keep it in your memory. And that is the problem that we have also in our modern world. When people will look at video games, right? Fighting, killing one another, and they enjoy it. And they think like video game is the same thing like real war. War is not a game. War is not a game. Shedding of blood is not a game. Because there are lives being lost. And not only the life that is being lost, but we need to think about the repercussion. Those are people's father, right? Those people, they lost their father, right? That is someone's husband. The woman does not have husband again, right? That is somebody's uncle. That is somebody's brother that just died. So because we think that, killing a man, he died. But there's a lot of, a chain reaction. Down. So we need, if the man is raised without a father, you know how it is in such a boy's mind that, his father died in the war, right? Or a woman that just lost her husband in the war. You know how mentally that is destroying to that woman? We don't think about that. So war is not a game. And people think that, forget. And that increase the kind of immunity against war. You don't have that immunity. There's no fear. Right? And they tell you, do not teach your children about Second World War. Do not teach your children about what happened, about the kind of war that happened maybe in your country. No, it's not a good thing. It's not a good history. We don't want to teach our children that. You have to teach them. You have to let them understand that war is not good, so that they can pursue peace. It's not everything that results into war. That's the thing that we can discuss about and arrive at an amicable, peace among one another without going to the shedding of blood. So I'm going to quickly talk about that this morning. You shall blot out the memory of Amalek from under the heaven. Do not forget. That is Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 19. The mitzvah of forgetting. So they are trying to say that it is a kind of a mitzvah for us to forget. We, the Hebrew people, are committed to remembering what has been. It is ingrained in our psyche, in our DNA. Is this similarly the 614th commandment? Thou shalt not forget. That's what God said. You shall not forget what they did. We say that also about Jerusalem, about Jerusalem. If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, may my right hand lose its cunning. Its power to fight. We also say it about what happened during the Second World War. The shore. The killing in Eastern Europe. We also remember that among people, even among my own people, where the Ethiopian Jews were being murdered, being killed by the native Ethiopians. Is that right? Are we not all human beings? Oh, no, because they don't want to convert into Orthodox Christianity. You kill them. Why should I convert? That is not my faith. And you cannot force me to convert into a strange religion that I don't know. I better die for my faith. Right? So this is what I'm trying to say. We also say it also about our loved ones that have passed to the world beyond in kaddish. Remember I said, always remember. It is the greatest, I will say one of the evil that I can see, that somebody will say, oh, I am born, I don't want to have children. No? When you die, who remembers you? That's the point. That's the reason God said that we should have children. Because memory lives long. It's very important. You have to have children. I've seen in a place where I see a lot of people, I'm sorry, they don't have children. They say they give their life, to marry to somebody. I don't want to mention anything. I just look at them and say, oh, and they grow old. And then now as they grow old, nobody to take care of them. They abandon them in some homes. No memory. When they die, it's like an animal. No memory. Who's going to remember them? Nobody. Do you think the person that you serve is going to remember you? They don't care. You die. You've been used. You've been used. That is it. But God said, in kaddish, we remember our loved ones. Remember them. Oh, my father of a blessed memory. My brothers of a blessed memory. My mama of a blessed memory. My grandmama. You remember your loved ones. And you pray that God should keep on to bless them. Because their memory is positive in your head. So, this is it. So, but continue. We have people with a prodigious memory. And yes, Rabbi Sidney has suggested that what we really need to work on is to develop a forget-tory. That means the ability to forget and to move on. And that is where I count again. I say, no, that is not acceptable. To me, as it is, 2 Jews, 3 opinion. That is his own. That is the opinion of Rabbi Sidney Greenberg. That is his own opinion. He said, okay, we need to forgive and move on. Not forgive. We need to forget and move on. Right? Yes. For example, what the German did against the Jews in Europe. I forgive the Germans, right? But I can't forget it. No. But if I forget it, it will repeat itself again. What the European did against slavery, I forgive them, right? But I can't forget about it. Because there are people who enslave others, a man enslaving his own fellow men. Is that right? No. Or the killing of my people, you say I'm going to forget about that. I must be a fool to forget about that. I forgive them. The native Ethiopians, yes. But I can't forget about that. Because if I forget about that, then there's a problem in my head. You can't say forget and move on. No, you can't forget and move on. But you have to remember, you have to forgive them, but always remember so that it does not repeat itself again. That is the purpose of what the Torah is saying, that this history do not repeat itself again. But when you forget, it will repeat itself again. So let's see the point of what Rabbi Sidney is talking about. As I told you, I understand his point of view. So let me come from his point of view. Okay. It is a unique human trait that we cannot remember physical pain. We remember that we were in pain, but the pain itself cannot be recaptured. And for that we thank God. Imagine how terrible life would be if any moment we could remember and experience again the many pains long past. There are many times when forgetting is preferable to remembering. As we approach the coming Yamim Noraim, that means the awesome days, the days of awesomeness, or the days of Awe, we are embodied to forgive and forget the hurt done to us by others, so that we can have a perfect relationship or repair our own relationship, reviewed and reinvigorated. Okay. All this I said, let me just summarize it quick. He said it is a unique human trait. It's a trait, it's a uniqueness in the human being that we cannot remember pain. You know, we know that I was in pain 2 days ago, but you cannot relieve that pain. Because if we relieve every pain, the life will be unbearable. You remember that you have pain, but you cannot relieve that pain again. But that is a question. In science, there is a pain that is called phantom pain. People don't understand that. There is a pain that is called phantom pain. For example, a phantom pain is a pain when, God forbid, someone's hand is cut off or someone's leg is cut off. But the person is experiencing pain, but there is no leg. How can you feel pain if there is no leg? The leg is no longer there. But the person is feeling pain. So you cannot say that the person doesn't feel pain because you are not the person. The person says, I'm feeling pain. Even though the leg is no longer there. This is called phantom pain. It is a neurological problem. But in the mind of the person is still thinking he has a leg. But the leg is no longer there. In the mind is calculating, I'm whole, I'm awesome, right? I'm complete. But yesterday they just cut off the hand. Or 1 year ago they just cut off the hand. But the mind is still, in the mind of the mind is still thinking that it's a hand. So how can the person feel pain if there is no hand? That is my own argument. So you cannot tell me to do what? To forget. Even though the mind does not forget. How much more me to go and forget what happened? I have to remember. I forgive. Yes. But for me to forget, no. That is not, it doesn't work that way. God himself said, do not forget. Remember. Because if you forget, you face the consequence. So the real challenges he's saying now is determining when we are best served by our memory, and when by our forget-tory. That means the Parsha Tetze provides some clue about the value of remembering and forgetting in two seemingly unrelated passages in the Parsha. We have the forgetting of the church, which is Shikaka, and also about the Amalek. Shikaka is a law that was given that when you are plowing your field, you should forget a part, a corner. Don't plow everything. Don't take everything. No. Take a a part and forget just close your eyes. Do as if that part does not exist. That part is for the widows, for the strangers, for those people that have no land. They come and they say, remember the story of the great grandmother of David, Amalek, Ruth. They went to Boaz. They especially leave some for her. Those are the commandments. In order for God to bless us, the Torah said. Remember, you are a stranger in Egypt. The Torah, we are going to read about that downstairs again. It talks about that every time. You have experienced slavery, and you know the pain of slavery. Why do you want other people to live like that? That's what the Torah is saying. No, you do not allow people, because you know what you are talking about. It is not a story. They didn't tell you. You live it. Okay. So you know that experience. So you don't want other people to have the same experience. So you help them. God is a God that tells us that you help each and one another. We need to help one another. So we are going to see. So it's trying to give us this. When are we best served? When we remember or when we forget? But for me, as I said, two Jews, two opinions. I understand where the rabbi is coming from. So the rabbi is trying to say for us to forget, meaning in his own sense, if I get him right. Understand that not that we should forget Amalek in the sense that we should not take Amalek. Don't put Amalek in your heart. Let Amalek become nonentity. The word of nonentity. Nonentity that somebody who means nothing. Because remember, there is a saying that the best answer to a fool is what? Is silence. Don't mind them, because if you put a fool in your mind every day, it's going to disturb you personally. Leave him alone. Ignore him. Ignore. So, and when you ignore a fool, that is when he's in trouble. Because he said, why is this guy not recognizing me? Why is this? What? Because he's a fool. You just ignore him. I understand his own point of view. That's the point of view, if I'm right. That's the point of view of that rabbi. That forget about Amalek. Because if you keep on remembering Amalek, that will be disturbing us personally as Israelites. It's like the Amalek is still in control of us. But when we ignore them, when we don't even remember them, right? We forget about them. Then Amalek itself is an example of the of evil. The evil itself will be in pain. Why this guy does not see me? I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that. He doesn't even. He just ignore me every day. Ignore me. So you will be at peace. It is the negative side who's going to be in trouble, because if you want to get your attention, but you are ignoring. You don't want to. You are ignoring. I understand that, right? But we need to follow exactly what the Torah says. The Torah is saying sometimes negative side, the negative inclination, the evil inclination is very, very trickish. Very smart. It's not stupid. It's not dumb. If you try one way or the other, okay. Do you think that, for example, the negative inclination didn't come to Adam? Of course, it came to Adam. Adam said, man, this tree, man, God said, don't eat. This tree is good. Okay. Because God told me. Because I heard it directly. So you remember, Shema Israel, I hear it. He told me in my ears. Okay. But God didn't tell the woman. But it is the job of the man to tell the woman, right? But then Adam said, okay, there is a space. Let me go to. Because if I go to Adam will. I went to him several times. He didn't do it. I know somebody who can do it. Okay. I go to the woman. He didn't say, don't eat. He asked a question, a very trickish question. Did God say? You see, he didn't say, I want you to eat it. Because if he asked the woman, go eat it, the woman said, no. God said we should not eat. My husband told me that God told us not to eat. The woman will answer, but it's a tricky question. It's a trap. Did God say? Oh, yes, God said it is true. No? Then it came in. No. God doesn't want you to be like him. I know. If I look, wash, I'm going to eat now. If I'm going to eat, and he didn't die. Yeah, he didn't die. So God is lying to me. God is deceiving me. But she doesn't understand, you know. And he went. That's the issue. It's a trick. Remember, a lot of Libra, I'm sorry to say so, a lot of Libra, especially in Judaism, right? They are like that. They trick you. They say, oh, the Torah said, they twist it, and in your mind say, yeah, because you are not sound, you are not strong in the Torah. You become trouble. Then you begin to get confused in your brain. There's a lot of things that is happening. You yourself will think, which Torah are you guys reading? Is it the Torah of Moshe, or do you have another Torah? Because I don't understand. Because I don't see why a man that says, okay, I am a Hebrew man. I was trained, you know, by my dad who's a rabbi, and I'm the same man now who grew up, and I'm saying, you know, it is good for a man and a man to, you know, I sponsor it, you know, with my money, with my all kinds of programs. It is good for a woman and a woman to live together. It is good for a man to, you can even change the sex of your children. I sponsor it. I wonder which planet do you live, or which Torah? They say, oh, you know what? The Torah didn't say so I can do it. Since Torah didn't say so, it's permissible. They twist your mind. They say the Torah says only the man. Well, the Torah didn't say about the woman. Because in the Torah, they say a man and a man cannot live together, right? There's no way in the Torah says a woman and a woman cannot live together. They say the Torah didn't say so. But when Torah says a man and a man, it means the woman and the man. A man is a representative because the woman was in the man until when God decided to separate them. So don't come and say the Torah didn't say so it's permissible. It's nonsense. And those people who want to look at it, you know, say, yeah, the Torah didn't say so it is good. No, it is not good. Because the Torah said, don't do that. So we need to see all these things because that is how they trick people's minds to deceive us. Okay, so concerning the Amalek, we said that the Amalek passage we call the event that transpired during the wandering, first described in the book of Exodus in chapter 17, verse 8 to 13, when Amalek achieved notoriety as the arch-enemy of Israel by attacking them from the rear. Although such cowardness suggests why the text speaks with the tone of moral outrage. In fact, the real core of Amalek offense was, as a Parsha clearly states, Velo Yahweh Elohim, and he feared not God. On Shabbat Zakor, that means on Shabbat of remembrance, we read the commandment to blow out the memory of Amalek under the heavens. Okay, what is the sin of Amalek? Remember, Amalek is a cousin of Israel, therefore the descendant of Lot, right? So how can you see your great cousin that is coming out of trouble? It's your cousin, for God's sake. And you see, that is the point I say about memory. Did Lot input memory in those of his children down? Oh, remember, I didn't have a father. But my uncle, Abraham, raised me up as his own. He gave me all this value. He gave me a lot of things. He made me rich. And when I was in trouble, my uncle came with his own soldier to rescue me from the hands of the Canaanites. Did he pass those things to his own children? I mean, down the memory. I don't know. Because if he does, then they should remember that, oh, these are my cousins. I need to help them too because they helped my great grandfather. No? Because these are the sons of Abraham. Right? They need to understand that. But when you forget, when you all intentionally want to forget, like the Torah said, and there was a Pharaoh who does not recognize Joseph. Understand that? It's not that he doesn't know that Joseph existed. He knows because it's written in their laws. It's written in the history that Joseph saved Egypt. But he doesn't want to recognize that. He doesn't want to give credit to Joseph. He doesn't want to give credit to Israel. No. they want. These people are non-entity. Let me enslave them. That is the point. So there are people who purposely just want to forget. They don't want to remember the good thing that you did for them. They don't want to remember. Because they think that they think within themselves that, okay, I am now, I am in debt to this person. No, the person is not asking you about to repay him or her the favor. No, just to recognize. God has given us all blessings. And if we want to purposely block our mind not to remember that, then we are ungrateful to God. God gave us life, gave us light, gave us water, gave us food, gave us energy, gave everything. So we have to be grateful to God and say, God, thank you. Because we recognize that. We remember that. We know that. But when you want to block it out of your memory, oh, everything is by chance. Yeah, you know what? It's because I work hard. That's why I have all this money. It's because I work hard. That's why I'm doing exercise. I go to gym. That's why I have a good head. You know, I eat good food. That's why I have a good head. Instead of you to glorify God, you put everything ego on yourself. Right? And it's not right. That is my own point, and that's my own kind of argument. So we need to understand that the Amalek issue is because these people does not fear God. That is the moral outrage of the lesson. They didn't go and kill the strong one because they know that if they go to the strong one will kill them. They went to the weak one, the one that cannot survive on their own. You see, it's like a nurse. You know that there's a news a nurse in England that was just recently sentenced. This nurse is like, when you talk about an evil nurse, it's an evil to the core. Our job is to kill newborn babies. It's a nurse, and you swore an oath to defend life. But no. Our own is to kill children, babies, who has nobody to defend them. You see, that's exactly what Amalek did. The powerless one, the people that has no power, that they cannot defend themselves, then you kill them. So this is what I'm trying to say. But if you are strong, go meet your equal and see if you are, because we have a lot of countries in the world, they talk about war. They can only fight the weak ones. But when they see their mates, their equal, they run away. They can't stand. And we can see the example in Ukraine. You see, they can only go to Africa and bomb them, Oh, you know what? I remember Iraq, and Iraq must be free. No? We need to bring democracy to Iraq. Did Iraq ask you for democracy? Did Iraq say, come and give me democracy? They have their own tradition and their culture, for God's sake. You cannot bring democracy on the wing of a B-52. You cannot bring democracy on the wing of a fighter jet, of F-16. It doesn't work that way. People have to grow up to that level. You don't bomb people to bring democracy. No. That is the point. But when they see their equal, they fear. No? Why do you go to Libya and bomb Libya? Because Libya cannot respond. It's weak. No? You go to Laos, you bomb Laos. Laos cannot respond back, But when you see your mate, you fear. Okay. Go and fight the strong one. Why the weak ones? So this is the moral outrage that God is talking about. You cannot use because you have power to destroy the weak. No. It is not right because it is not equal. The balance of force is not equal. Right? So we need to understand why the Torah says, do not forget. Now, when you are settled and you are strong, you will remember Amalek. And you will go and teach them the lesson. Let them feel the pain. Let them know that what they did is wrong. And it actually happened in the book. I remember now in the book of Samuel. See, it happens now. And God said, Shaul, it's time to remember Amalek for what they did. You have to repay them. It is you see, measure by measure. The Torah is true. It's measure by measure. Even though Shaul messed up in the mission, but he did what God asked him to do. But he didn't kill the king, and he faced the consequence on his own too. His own too faced the consequence. But the fact of the matter is that God himself remembered and said, it's time to arrange. So this is the argument I'm trying to argue. So the debate is not an argument, it's a debate. So the debate is for us to understand that forgetting is not part of us. No. To forgive is part of us. We have to forgive. Forgive, but do not forget. Remember, so that it doesn't repeat itself again. In the final analysis, there are times to remember and time to do what? To ignore. Both purposely and unintentionally. In every instance, the use or misuse of memory must be determined by the higher purpose that is being served. In what we choose to remember and in what we choose to forget. May we be guided by our desire to draw nearer to the one from whom all blessings flow. And may we truly merit the gift of the blessing of God. Remember, the Lord God told us, he said, in order for the Lord God to do what? To bless you. If you follow the Torah, he said, the farm, yesterday during Erev Shabbat, my daughter was asking me a question. He said, Papa, I don't understand why is it that when the oxen, why did the Torah say, do not move, do not cover the mouth of the ox when the ox is walking? Why? Because he didn't understand. I said, this is part of the law of Rachamim. There's the same law of the mother bird. You cannot go and see a bird sitting on the egg. You take the chick and you take the bird and you take the egg. That is evil before God. It's wickedness. You can do that. Remember that mother bird care for the egg. That's his baby. God said you shall send out the mother bird and take the egg. You can eat the egg. It's permissible. But only when you let go the mother bird. Because the mother bird, do you think that they don't think? They do think. They do think. The mother bird will overcome and bear another egg. But if you kill it, how can he bear another egg? You want to extinguish them in the land. Not to exterminate them. You don't do that. You send the mother bird away, take the egg. Is a law of Raham, is a law of mercy. The same thing with the what? With the oxen. The oxen is working, right? It needs energy to do all those work. It's turning the ground. You cannot cover the mouth. Oh, I don't want you to eat my food or my grass. No, that is evil. The ox needs energy, or the oxen needs energy to walk. So you need to let their mouth open as they do the work. They eat. As they do the work, they eat. It's a lot of mercy. But now we can see in many of our food industry, the way they deal with cows, the way they prepare them. Every about money. They shoot them. They even electrocute them. Why do you want to electrocute the cow? What did they do? Even a human being that killed another human being, you free them. Yeah, a killer. And the cow has not killed nobody, but you electrocute the cow because you need money. You don't have the time to slaughter, No time for that. It's about money, time. Time is money. And it's not right. So these are law of Rahamim that God is giving us. That we have to be compassionate. We have to be merciful. The way our Father is merciful, the way God is compassionate to us, forgiving us our iniquity, forgiving us our sins, we have to do the same thing. We have to be compassionate and be merciful to these animals. You cannot just be using them as if they are not alive. They are alive. The same life that you have, the same life they have too. So we need to remember that. So the laws of the living, the corner lot. I mean, when you are grazing, when you are harvesting, your crops. So God gave us a commandment that the corner lot, you shall do what? Forget you shall close your eyes as if it doesn't exist. Okay? It's a law. Why? Because it is God that gives us food. It is God that bless all his seed. Because if you do that, God will bless you. If you do that, you don't know that like now, like what we have now, you know, when we harvest, even though the soil, we harvest it. Come on, it's getting too much. Why don't you harvest everything? No, it's about economy, it's about money. You don't leave a corner. I don't care the immigrants, I don't care the widows, I don't care the orphan. No, you have to care. So these are the true way. The Torah has come to elevate us, to elevate man into a being, into a higher being, not just an animal. Like a man is not an animal, but you are a being. You are a being with intellect. You know that? Intelligent. You are an intelligent being. So once we can do that for ourselves, once we can relate to ourselves in a godly manner, in a kind way, then actually that is leading us into being a child of God, into the image of God. That is what God does. Because we are his children, and we need to copy what he's teaching us. So this is what the Torah is telling us. That when we can do that, that is actually an image of God. That you are at the image of God. Not just because I have the Spirit of God in me, so that no. It's an action. Torah talks about action, not just the word that comes out of our mouth, but an action. When we can do that, other people will see, oh, the Canaanites, they remove all their land, they remove all their fruits, right? Or they remove they harvest everything. But they come and say, why are you not harvesting this part? Oh, this one is for the needy ones. This one is for the poor. Wow, you care for the poor? Yeah. You care. Wow. Why do you do that? Because God asked me to do that. It is command. Oh wow! Can you take me to that your God? Me too. I want to do that. So this is what is an example for us, so that other people can come onto us. We want to begin to see our actions. Not just it's not that we just speak and we don't do no action. But when we do the action, they see it, they come, and they glorify God together with us. So Parasha Tetze, when you go out, see, forget or not to forget. It's a question. So it is for you to decide. Are you going to forget, or are you not going to forget? It is you decide within yourself. But as for me, I follow what the Torah says. I forgive, but I cannot forget the negative or the evil thing that you did or that anyone did. No. So that if you forget, if you come back again, it will repeat itself, because there is no memory lane. But when you have a memory lane, then you know that no. This has happened and I don't want this to repeat itself again. But I'm forgiving. It's clear. To forgive is good. To forgive makes you to be healthy. But if you don't forgive, you are not healthy. The pain is in your mind. Now you are killing yourself. But when you forgive, you are very happy. You see the smile, your face radiates. Because forgiving, you clean, you live long, you don't have heart attack, you don't have stroke, but forgiving. That is it. So this is the point that it's talking about our own health too, right? So we need to know that, but to forget, no, you need to keep it, teach it. See? But you're forgiving them. Tell your children, do not forget about this. Do not forget about this, because that is the commandment of the Torah. Shabbat Shalom.